What is up, y'all? Hello, hello. Happy Tuesday. Happy end of 2022. I'm not feeling well, so my energy level is a little bit low. Also, so is my camera. It's like my camera's too high or something. Weird. Anyway, my energy level is a little low today. I am not feeling well. I got really sick yesterday. I do not have COVID, or at least my rapid test said I don't. I took a PCR test later on today. Um, I took a rapid test in the morning and a PCR test in the afternoon just to be sure. But I am not feeling well. But I could not miss the very last live Q&A for 2021. Please note that in 2022, these live Q&As will not be weekly. They will be the last Tuesday of every month. I'll still do them, but they'll be the last Tuesday of every month. It'll be the same format, same place, because I'm going to move to doing these weekly for the Quick Commuting Academy members. Stay tuned for that. I know I keep dropping hints about the Quick Commuting Academy. I'm still working on getting everything and all the content in that and getting it set up for you guys. So just know this is the last weekly Q&A session that we're going to have. It'll go to monthly in 2022. Hi, Steph. If you're catching the replay, feel free to drop questions in the comments. I can always circle back and answer those. And I'm going to get into it. So a few things. One, my name is Libria Jones, also known as the Remote Work Queen. I've been working remotely for over 13 years now, and I've worked remotely in every way there is to work remotely. I've worked remotely for a company. I freelanced. I had a digital business, and I also convinced my current employer to let me work remotely. They actually hired me to work in the Atlanta office. So anyway, that's me. I also have a free guide with my favorite places to find remote work. I'm in the middle of revamping my free guide and turning it into something that has a lot more information. It's going to be the ultimate guide to remote work. And I'm going to expand on the 4 ways that you can work remotely, because getting a remote job is not the only way to work remotely. So that's coming out next year, a lot coming out next year. So I have a free guide. I also have a course. You guys can probably hear me wheezing. Good Lord. Child, I need to go lay down somewhere. I also have a mini course. It can be done in a weekend. I don't like long courses. So when I built the course, it was very, very important that every video be small snippets. I tried to keep each video to 5 minutes or less. And it can be done in a weekend. So the Remote Ready Bundle is the course. I will drop a link to that in the description box, as well as the free guide and any resources that we discussed today. I'm going to get to the questions that people asked me on Instagram. And then if you guys have any questions, feel free to drop it in the comments and I will answer it. I do also want to say, for the folks that constantly and consistently show up every week to hang out with me, I really appreciate you guys. You are the reason why I got out of my sick bed today. I was laying up in the bed watching Marvel movies. But I didn't want to miss the last shot. And it's not, I'm going to say this, it's not because I don't know how to rest. It's not because I don't do self-care. It's honestly because doing stuff like this makes me feel better. A lot of times when I'm not feeling well, the first day I will do nothing. Like yesterday, I didn't do anything. When I say I didn't do nothing, I didn't do anything yesterday. And then the second day if I'm feeling a little bit better, I need to do something that makes me feel normal. And that somehow helps me feel better. And so I'm not here because I'm a workaholic and I don't know how to rest. I do know how to rest. Trust and believe that. But this makes me feel better. Actually, this is the kind of thing that makes me feel better. So I can take 30 minutes and sit in a chair and talk to you guys. That doesn't hurt. And then I'm gonna go get in bed and watch Marvel movies. All right. So let's get started with these questions. The first question is from Black Fee Mystique. I'm so glad I found you and your gifts and your humor. Haha. I have a question. Where would I start as a writer creating my resume for a multifaceted approach to remote work searching? Do I need to tailor the resume for each job, or can I make it into a multifaceted resume? Honestly, both is kind of the answer. I'll give you an example of what I did, right? So there was a time where I was looking for, let me give you 2 examples. There was a time I was looking for project manager roles and customer service roles. And there was a time I was looking for project manager roles and process improvement roles. And so I made two versions of my resume, right? You can have more than one version of your resume template. And so I'd say one, consider working with a resume writer. There are plenty out there that are really great. There's Resume Addict. There's Not Your Mother's Resume, although she focuses on tech resumes, I think. There's Ashley Cash. And Ashley actually does, I feel like I shout her out in every video. She does a free resume review. So I'll drop a link to that as well in the description box once I post this. And I'll try to drop a link in the comments here so that you can get to it pretty easily. But one, have somebody review your resume. I am not a resume expert. I happen to like my resume. I happen to have looked at a lot of resumes because I've had to hire teams, but I don't put myself out there as a resume expert. I will gladly hand those folks over to the people who, make a living doing this. But I'd say there's nothing wrong with having multiple versions of your resume for what you're looking for and tailoring the resume for each job. I wouldn't say that you've got to go and rewrite your resume for every job. What I do say is that you do want to pay attention to what's most important in a job posting and making sure that that stuff is showing up in your resume. You guys know I love to call it sling and stale resumes. If you take one resume and use it to apply for every job, a lot of times when you're submitting your resume, it goes into a database. They're not literally looking at every resume. What's happening is they're on the other end of that computer doing a keyword search, kind of just like you did to find that job. They're doing a keyword search to see what resumes are a good fit for the position. And you can bet they're not on the other end thinking, I wonder what Missy Sheely put in her resume. Let me use those keywords. They're not sitting around thinking about what you may have put in your resume. They're thinking about what they put in the job posting. And so you want to take into consideration what are the most important keywords that they've used in the job posting and make sure they appear in your resume. One of the things that I always call out is sometimes we talk about things differently. Like I may have budgeting in my resume and they may have financials, right? And so projections. And so I may want to tweak. That's just a really small example, but I may want to tweak the way I've worded things. So those are my suggestions to you. You can have multiple versions of your resume, have somebody review your resume and update it. And then, yes, you want to tweak it. My recommendation is to tweak it a bit for the job you're applying for. All right. Smoked chocolate. What am I doing wrong because I can't land a remote job to save my life? Girl, you didn't give me no information. I don't know how to answer that. Here's what I can say. Here's what I know that people in general do wrong, right? One, people act as if they're doing more work than they actually are, right? So a lot of times people are like, I can't seem to get a remote job. I'm out here applying for jobs and I'm not getting a remote job. And I can be like, well, how many jobs do you apply for a week? And they're like, one or two. You're not really working. You're not doing a lot. You're not doing a lot. A lot of times people aren't working as hard as they say they are. My recommendation is that when I was looking for a job, I was applying for at least five to 10 jobs a day. Cause for me, I was like, as much as I can get myself out there, the more I can increase my probability of getting something, right? So for me, it was like the law of averages, right? Let me just try harder and put my resume out there more and see what happens. The other thing I say that people miss and what they do wrong is if you find yourself stuck at a point in the process, it may be time to assess that point in the process and call in an expert. So if you are submitting your resume and not getting any hits, maybe you need to call in a resume expert. If you're going to interviews and you're not getting past the interview phase, maybe you need interview coaching, right? So step back and assess where in the process are you going wrong or where you're getting stuck and start trying to figure out how to improve that part of the process. All right. The other thing I'd say is be intentional about this. I always tell folks, so whenever I do one-on-one coaching, which I don't do very often, I always tell people, go ahead and carve out 30 minutes, 3 times a week, at least, to sit down and look for jobs. I'm going to tell you something, guys. Looking for a job is a sales job. It's a part-time job. Honestly, it can be a full-time job. It's a lot of work. It takes on average 90 days to land a new job. And so that's the other thing people do wrong. They aren't patient, right? So you've got to be patient with this. Don't look at me on day 89 or day 91, like Libria, you said 90 days. I said on average, which means it can take longer or it can be a shorter amount of time, right? So on average, it takes 90 days. You got to have a little bit of endurance here. You got to have a little bit of endurance and a lot of patience. And then, like I said, being intentional. Sit down and say, I'm going to carve out 30 minutes 3 times a week to prospect and look for jobs. The reason why I say it's a sales job is because what salespeople do is they do prospecting. They go out looking for clients, which is what you're doing. You're looking for clients to hire, right? To hire you. Excuse me, guys. You are prospecting and then you're pitching, right? Submitting your resume is pitching. And then you need to network, right? You need to not just apply for the job. You need to go on LinkedIn and see who you know or who someone you know. Did I say that right? You know what I meant. See who you're connected to. So what you're doing wrong, I'm not sure. But these are the things that most people are doing wrong. Okay. So get on top of those things. 79 Shades of Blue said, what can I do to land a transcription job? The assessments don't tell you your mistakes, and I keep failing them. I've literally taken them with the guide right next to me to no avail, and I know I'm no dummy. I know you're no dummy. Excuse me, guys. So I'm not that familiar with transcription jobs. So I've never taken a transcription assessment. What I can tell you that I'm familiar with is transcription freelancing as doing transcription. So, take matters into your own hand. Fuck them people. if you're constantly running up against a wall, here's an opportunity for you to take matters into your own hands, right? So transcription is actually an excellent skill to have as a freelancer. So what I would encourage you to do is start going on Upwork and Fiverr. These are 2 freelance websites where people can sell their services, and folks that are looking for transcribers can come and hire you. And I can tell you, I have actually hired two transcribers over the last year. So maybe consider taking matters into your own hands here and building yourself as a freelancer. So Fiverr, I'm going to type that in the comments. I'm going to put it in the description box too. But Fiverr and Upwork are 2 websites for freelancers. You can go on there, build out a profile, put some of your work up there. And if you're not sure how you should price it, I always tell people, look at what other people are doing. Go on the website as if you were going to hire somebody, right? And look at what people are putting in their profile. Look at what people are charging. But transcription is an excellent, excellent way to be a freelancer. And the good thing about freelancing is you have a little bit more freedom, right? So you get to decide how many clients you want to take on. You pretty much decide your work hours, especially when it comes to transcription, because it's not like you have to meet with people throughout the day. Someone sends you a recording or a video, and then you have to go and transcribe it whenever you feel like it, right? As long as you get it to them by the deadline. So I think freelancing is a great opportunity for you. The next question. When applying for customer service remote job. Oh, wait, I skipped a question. Oh, that's a good one. I like this. Latina KPC said, check YouTube for the transcription job you want. There may be tips for how to pass the assessment. Awesome. What exactly do I need to find remote high-paying customer service jobs? Also, do you know of a fashion-related website to find remote jobs? So I don't know what you mean by high-paying customer service jobs. That's high-paying is a relative term, but I can tell you all of the websites that I share in the free guide, as well as in the course, are remote job boards that have remote jobs across all categories and at varying pay levels, right? So remote.co, Flex Jobs, We Work Remotely, have plenty of customer service jobs. They have categories. Just go on the website, click on customer service, and then scroll through that. As far as do I know fashion-related websites? I don't know fashion-related websites. What I would say is do a Google search for fashion remote jobs or remote jobs in fashion, see what pops up. So a lot of times you will surprise yourself by just doing a Google search. You might end up being surprised by just a simple Google search. And what you'll get might give you ideas for something else. But but wardrobe stylist and closet organizer. I have a friend who does wardrobe styling, and she lives in Atlanta and I'm in Tulsa, and we've been talking about how to do closet clean outs and setting up my wardrobe for next year. And we're probably just going to do like a virtual session where I try on stuff on FaceTime or on a Zoom meeting. And, she tells me to either keep it or throw it away. And then she'll shop for me online and send me things to buy. So, I mean, that's something that you can do on your own. You can do that as a freelancer, as a consultant, because that's what one of my friends is doing. So, a lot of times, if you don't see what you're looking for, consider creating it as well. Next question is, when applying for customer service remote job, is it a numbers game? How many jobs you apply for? Or is it about how good your resume looks? I've never applied for a remote job before, but I have administrative skills. It's neither a numbers game nor how good your resume looks. I tend to, like I said earlier, I'll apply for multiple jobs because it increases the probability that someone will, be like, yes, you're the one. Law of averages, man. But no one cares how your resume looks really. And it's really about the content that's in your resume. Now, there's a reasonable range in which we don't care about how your resume looks. Like, it can't look like shit. Guys, I hope my mama doesn't watch this video. I've definitely been super potty mouth this whole night. I don't feel good, so I don't care. Um, as long as your resume doesn't look shady, as long as it doesn't have, children drawings on it, as long as it doesn't have a picture of you at spring break 2019, pre-COVID. Yeah. I'm like, did we make it to spring break 2019? Anyway, so reasonable range, but it's not about how your resume looks. It's about the content of your resume. So when you're looking at these customer service positions, the question becomes, do I appear to be a good fit for this position based on what they say they're looking for? Which is why I always say your resume pretty much needs to match the keywords that the job posting has, because they gave you the game. They tell you exactly who they're looking for. Your job is to tell them that you are that person. Right? Not to lie, of course. The only thing I want you to put on your resume that's in their job posting are the things that are true, but you want to talk about yourself the way they're talking about the candidate for this job. Okay? So, no, it doesn't matter how your resume looks. What matters is the content in your resume. What I will say is customer service positions are very competitive. Everybody is looking for those. So, yeah, you're going to have to work at that. You're going to have to continue to apply, keep applying, find as many as you can. Just because those positions are very competitive. So many people are looking for that. Sierra said Amazon hires remote chat stylists for part-time work. That is dope. That is dope. Somebody said potty mouths have vast intelligence. I would agree. Yep. All right. Someone else asked, what remote job provides equipment for the job? I'm looking for inbound calls only or virtual chat remote jobs. So you can look at the job posting, and a lot of them will say if equipment is provided. I've worked in both customer service. My very first remote job was in customer service. I did customer service for Toys R Us, and they did not give me equipment. I had to use my own laptop, and I had to get a headset. And it was part-time. When I worked customer service for American Express, I worked full-time at night. And they sent me a computer. They sent me everything I needed. Computer, headset. They sent me a whole desktop, all of that. So it will really depend on the company. What I would recommend that you do is make sure you're going through the job posting to see if they mention that. Additionally, when you apply and the recruiter reaches out to you, go ahead and ask that question. A lot of times customer service positions will tell you what the requirements are. If they need you to have your own computer, they will say that. A lot of times they will say that, and they'll say what kind of speed you need, what kind of operating system you need, and they'll make you, I remember they made me do like some kind of test on my computer to make sure it had the right, I don't know, operating system. It was up to date. It could handle whatever software they needed to use, whatever the case may be. A lot of companies, if they want to use your equipment, they will run an equipment test. So just pay attention to the job posting. And if all else fails, if someone reaches out to you for an interview, ask them. Make that one of the questions you ask in an interview. That's it for the questions on Instagram. We've got 10 minutes. Let's see what questions you guys have asked here. Thank you, Latina. I am feeling better. I'm not feeling 100%. I still don't feel that great. I'm really, really tired. And I still have a little bit of muscle aches, but other than that, I definitely don't feel like I felt yesterday. Like yesterday, I felt like reheated crab. Um, let's see. Happy Tuesday. I don't know. Oh, like Tuesday, but Tuesday. That's cute. I like it. I think I may need to upgrade my resume. Maybe you do. Maybe it's time. Ashley Cash does a free resume review. Let me see if I can find that for you guys right quick and drop a link. I should just have like a list of common links that I share in these because I share her link almost every single week. Let me find her. Ashley Cash. She's Ashley Cash on Instagram, and she says she writes 100K resumes. She's pretty dope. I like her a lot. Copy link address. Let me drop this in here. So here's a link to that. She does free resume reviews. I'll put the link in the description box as well. We talked about that already. Oh, you guys don't have any questions for me? Oh, do you know how often they update the positions on the remote sites? I don't know what you mean. You mean how often they're getting positions? So the sites aren't updating. Let me tell you how the remote work sites work. Why don't we talk through that, Felicia? So here's how the job boards work. Basically, think of it as a store. Think of it as Walmart, right? Walmart's not really selling anything in their Walmart's selling other people's stuff. They created a building so that other people could sell their stuff, right? And so these remote job boards created a place where other companies can come and post their job postings. So the website, for instance, remote.co or We Work Remotely, they aren't the ones refreshing it. What's happening is companies that are hiring are coming to their site to post their jobs. So as often as they're hiring, as often as they want to, they're not updating the positions themselves. It's whoever is posting the position. So for instance, if Amazon has positions, it's however many times Amazon decides to come and post something. If Amazon's hiring and they say, oh, let's post this on remote.co, it shows up there. But those job boards aren't responsible for updating this. I hope that answered your question. Okay, I think I hit all the questions. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Hopefully next year you're able to join the Quick Commuting Academy and we can spend a lot more time together. We can hang out weekly again in the Quick Commuting Academy, which will be launching in 2022. Q1, definitely getting it out in 2021. I've pushed this thing back like 7 months at this point. So definitely launching in Q1. Also, keep in mind, we are hosting another Quick Commuting Conference in April. Yes, April 23rd through the 25th. We're doing another Quick Commuting Conference. You can go to quickcommuting.com to sign up for that. Let me give you the link. And don't forget, I do have a free guide with my favorite places to find remote work. And I have a course, the Remote Ready Bundle. It's a mini course. You can get it done in a weekend. And it's going to guide you through the 4 phases of finding and landing remote work. And it's less than $50. And you can purchase it you can pay for it in 2 installments. All right. So check that out. Thanks for hanging out with me here tonight. Thanks for hanging out with me on Instagram. I really appreciate it. And hopefully you guys get to see, I'm planning to do a lot more freaking content on YouTube. I even bought a camera and tripod. Oh man, I moved it. I had placed it in the perfect spot to video to get the perfect lighting so that I could record some content tomorrow. I was supposed to record today, but I didn't feel good. And now I've moved it. I'm going to have to reset it up. Anyway, so we're going to be doing a lot more YouTube content. So you guys will get a lot more information, a lot more content, a lot more guidance, a lot more education for me in 2022. But I hope that you decide to join the Quick Commuting Academy. And I hope you don't stay in long because I hope you get a remote job and roll out of there. All right. Well, thank you guys so much. And I'm wishing you an amazing, amazing new year. Have fun with the rest of 2021. And I'll meet y'all next year. Bye.